Hello, today I will be looking at the hurting woman. I will be looking at healing the hurting woman. Now, when I was growing up, I lived this fearful and embattled life as a young woman, as a young lady. My stepbrothers would do a lot to me as regards abuse. So most of the time it has to do with physical abuse on my person. I will be beaten, thrown under the staircase, asked to roll from top of the cupboard down to the floor. Sometimes I'll be asked to pull off my clothes and tell myself I was ugly, tell myself I was very ugly. The reason being that my father will always say I was a princess of the house, will always say you're beautiful, and he always called me Deborah the prophetess. And so most times when my father and my mother will leave for work, I will live in this fear. Especially when I come back from school, I will live in this fear, telling myself, I don't die today, I don't die today. And most of the time it will happen as I have said. Either one of my brothers is saying, come here, who tell you are fine? Come here, who told you are the princess of the house? Sometimes they say, go and stay under the step. There was this particular day they asked me to go and stay under the staircase. I lay there till the night when my mom was looking for me. They were looking for me everywhere. I had slept um, under the staircase. As young as I was just very, very young in the mid 80s, towards late 80s. I would just be under the staircase, cry my eyes out, and then sleep. And this particular day, my mom was everywhere looking for me, and they eventually got to find me under the staircase. And I couldn't tell who asked me to be there because I was going to die. I will be brutally beaten the next day. So I will say nothing. I just went there to go and play, and I slept off. Actually, I didn't actually go there to play. I was put there by my stepbrother. There was this particular day, it was so hot between my dad, my mom, and my stepbrother that I was in the middle of the fight. My brother ran into my mother's room, trying to get a hold of me to really deal with me. I really didn't know why I was the grass that was to suffer in that. My stepmother had to lock the door, lock me, push me under my mom's bed, lock me under the door. I was just a little girl. I was not even up to 18. I was just a little teenager in my early teenage days. My stepmother locked me inside. And my brother brought this spear that they use in digging out yams and was using it to hit the door and said he was going to kill me. He was going to kill me. I never knew what transpired between my mom, my dad, and his mom. I never knew what transpired between them while the mother left the house, but I was the one to suffer the pain. I was there so frightened. I was so afraid, in between the box and the wall under my mom's bed, shivering so bad because I thought that would be my end that day. My elder brother, so angry, was going to kill me on that particular day. But as God will have it, something distracted him, and my stepmother held my hand, threw me out of the room, threw me through the staircase, and threw me through the gate, in short, through the gate until I was out of the whole compound. That was how my life was saved that day. Another incident that really got to me, I'm talking about healing the hurting woman. Another one that eventually, another story, another experience of mine that happened was when my brother, who was baited with acid for having a fight with his friends outside, came home one day and brought this raw acid, put it in a bowl. Acid does not melt in plastic bowls. So he put it in that bowl and he was saying, do you think this is water? This is not water. He'll pour some on the floor and the thing will swell. He'll say, I'm going to bait you with it because I know your mom is the cause of my problem. Your mom is the cause of my problem. He'll pour it on the floor. He say, I want to bait you with it. Come and smell it. I never knew acid was that corrosive until the very first day I smelled that acid and I was choking. I could not breathe. For a long time, I couldn't tell my parents why I was having short breath. I breathed that acid that day and God saved me. I don't know what came over him that day. He just said, I shouldn't be treating you like this. Go, go, go. Take this 17 naira, go and buy something and then eat. And I went to my room that day, locked myself in, and I was shivering so badly, shivering so badly. My mom has been driven from the house. It was just me, my dad, and my siblings in the house. I was shivering. Anytime he's so aggrieved, he will come to my room. He will say, Deborah, come outside today. Deborah, come outside. And when I will come, I say, yes, brother, yes, brother. He will say to me, don't worry, I won't do you anything. Sometimes he will beat his sister of same mother for my sake, and I went through hell. I went through hell. One of the days, the first friend I ever got in my life was my father's tenant, the son to my father's tenant, who, when they were looking for me, said I was going to pour this acid on you. That one took me and threw me inside their room and locked the door. That was how I was saved, and I became a friend to that my father's tenant, the son to my father's tenant, because he saved me. He saved me. Other times where I began to make friends, I began to make friends according to how I saw them as being able to help me out of every situation I was. I never really knew it was a problem. I never really knew it was a problem, because I began to see my father, because whenever my father is around, he will be able to protect me. So I began to look for protectors in men. I sought God early in my life because I knew God was the only one that could protect me from my brothers. I knew God was the only one. Having been thrown into fire at the age of 6 months by whoever did it to me when I was young, I grew up with the scar in my neck. I became so frightful of men who would just scream at me, shout at me. I became so scared of men who will want to do me harm. So a moment you raise up your voice, something inside of me will shrink. I never really didn't know I needed therapy. So I was running away from people who screamed at me, running away from people who did not treat me right. So I was always looking for people, heroes in men who will hide me from my past. And so when I got married, the man I got married to, I got married to him because he was that kind of a shelter. I saw him as that kind of a shelter. How he protected me is in my place of work when I was doing my industrial attachment. I saw him as a father figure. He looked just like my dad to me, and so I was ready to get married to him so that I can be free, so that I can be secured. And that was how my life was. I began to go close to people who will protect me, knowing that I have a God who is my spiritual protector. I also needed people who would be physically around me. So I began to look. So when I lost my husband 6 years ago, and when I began to sit still, I actually was looking for people who will take that void, who will protect me, who will shield me from whatever it is that was going on in me. So when I open up, when I come out of my shell and I see people treat me badly, I will be so irritated and I will be so defensive and I will run back into my shell. And I was always looking for that particular man that would be a protector because of my childhood, because of my teenagehood, because of my past. And so I really needed healing. Really needed healing. It got to a time I had this relationship and I found out that the reason I got into this relationship thinking that I was going to get into marriage was because I saw another father figure in this person. I saw a protector in this person, because while I was going through depression, I was going through all that I was going through, this person was there to comfort me, was there to give me that backup, give me that thing that I have always wanted, because it was coming from my past. And so when it couldn't work, I just knew that I needed someone, until I began to understand by reason of what has been happening to me from my childhood, that I really just needed to be healed from the inside, from my past. Because once in a while, I would just shiver out from my sleep and I will get memories of that past. I will see either somebody trying to pierce me with a spear under my mom's bed. It kept happening to me over and over again. And I drew so close to my sibling, my brother's sibling, because when he grew, he became a man. I knew he could protect me as well. So I would always want to be around him because I knew he could fight for me. So those were why the reasons I was always looking for heroes in men, heroes in men, heroes in fathers, heroes in people, because of what I went through as a child. It was physical abuse on my person. Sometimes my eyes will be swollen. My brother will beat me so bad, my eyes will be swollen. I'll roll down from, there was this particular occurrence that happened. He asked me to come and watch. He will open a naked wire. He will open a naked wire. He will ask my brothers to touch it, and they will touch it, and they will almost be electrocuted. And he will tell them he's training them. These were things I saw and kept